Hello, and welcome to Middle Class Film Class Podcast. I'm Joseph, and along with me, as always, are Pete and Tyler.
Hello.
Hello.
This week, the Wheel of Destiny landed on my pick, which was Following.
So you followed women?
I followed anybody. I just wanted to see where they went, what they did. It was supposed to just be completely random. You would never follow the same person twice. That was the most important rule. That was the one that I broke first. That's when the trouble started.
So before we get on with the movie, I want to start this episode with maybe naming off some stream picks you guys have come across on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, or any other streaming service that you think people should see before their inevitable demise.
Yeah, I have a streaming pick. We mentioned briefly on, I don't know if it was last episode 1 or episode 2, Jeremy Saulnier, kind of a up and coming impressive filmmaker. He did Blue Ruin and Green Room.
Yep.
His first feature-length movie, Murder Party, is on Netflix streaming right now. 2007, same kind of crew with a couple smaller people that you don't really see in the later movies, but kind of a dark comedy, pretty funny. Takes a big slap at the pretentious art community, and pretty good. The name makes it sound like it's a horror, but it's more of like a campy, schlocky comedy with a little bit of B-rated gore with it. Pretty good movie.
I think we can all agree that we like seeing art students getting brutally murdered.
Yeah, I've seen the thumbnail for that movie, and there's a guy like wearing like a cardboard box around his head or something. I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
And he's like covered in blood.
Yeah, quick breakdown of the movie. It's just kind of a weird loner type guy walking home to feed his cat on Halloween night, and he gets this invitation just blowing down the street. He picks it up and says, "You're invited to a murder party at this address at this time," and it's Halloween night, and he's got nothing to do, and he's like, "All right, well, I guess I'll make a costume out of cardboard boxes and be a knight because his cat's name is Sir Lancelot," and he goes, which is my favorite character in the whole movie, Sir Lancelot. And he meets up with this warehouse in the middle of I don't know what city it's supposed to be set in. It looks like Detroit or something. And meets up with a bunch of art students, which are dressed as like one of the synths from the original Blade Runner. One of the guys is supposed to be one of the gang members from the Outsiders, I think it was.
I guess
the Warriors.
That's what you're gonna have to expect when you go to an art school party, is the obscure movie characters that no one knows about.
He doesn't know what he's getting himself into at all, and they're just like, "Oh, we're gonna kill you. You're the star of the murder party," and he's like, "Oh," and it just is the bunch of them talking about how they're gonna make this their thesis, and this is gonna be their masterpiece. Is killing him on film, and it kind of devolves from there, and it's schlocky and funny and well written, good dialogue, and definitely low budget, but worth a watch.
Yeah, I would have to say that my streaming pick would have to be, it's an Amazon Prime, I wouldn't say exclusive, but it is exclusive because I didn't see it on any other streaming service. Maybe Shudder. I don't know. I don't know if anyone has Shudder, though. I don't. But it would have to be the Reanimator sequel. This movie it's campy. It's not as good as the first one. I just want to put it out there. It's not that great of a movie if you're a really big Reanimator fan. But at the same time, though, it still has like the same really cool practical effects. It has some really, really funny scenes too. All around, just like good movie to watch on a Saturday night if you have nothing to do. And if you're a fan of these kinds of campy horror movies too, it has that mood.
Is it just called The Reanimator 2, or is it? I'm looking on IMDb right now. Is it The Bride of Reanimator?
Yeah, it's the Bride of Reanimator. It's kind of like the play on the Frankenstein,
Yeah,
Bride of Frankenstein.
Reanimator 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, pretty.
that was already taken, so they did Bride of Reanimator.
So if you have Amazon Prime, I would check it out. I would also check out a lot of the other many B-movie horror selections they have on Amazon Prime. I don't know what Jeff Bezos was thinking about wasting all this money on the rights to B movies, but I enjoy it, and if you're into that, you might too.
They spent $600 on the rights to that movie.
So I don't have a streaming pick per se, but I have some really good news for people who love 90s sitcoms.
Oh?
Seinfeld is being put on Netflix in 2021, which is a little bit
big news for Joe.
Yeah. So one of the greatest sitcoms ever made.
It's Netflix's final solution to staying relevant.
Yeah, because they're losing The Office, and they trashed that garbage show Friends finally.
Really? They got rid of Friends?
Yep.
Oh wait, that's on NBC. So yeah, that would make sense.
Probably to Hulu.
Yeah.
Well, no, I heard NBC is having their own streaming service now.
I thought Hulu and NBC kind of were the same thing. At least when Hulu first came around, that's all I saw on there was NBC.
I think they have
shows.
a lot of material from NBC, like Brooklyn. Well, not Brooklyn Nine-Nine's on. That was on Fox, wasn't it?
So
No, it's on Hulu.
Well,
oh yeah, that was.
And
Fox,
it was
but now it's
canceled,
Hulu.
but now it's on Hulu. But yeah, so Seinfeld, one of the greatest shows ever made. Coming to Netflix 2021. Right now I'm watching on Hulu with commercials, so it's like I'm back
to your youth.
Yeah, back to my youth, watching it in reruns. But yeah, that's my streaming pick in a couple years.
Joe, did you think that when you were watching Seinfeld reruns back in the day, that would be one of your favorite shows of all time?
It kind of
because it was kind of a mainstay for. It was always like just around for me, and you're just like, oh, my Friends is on. It's just like, oh, Simpsons is on.
Disclaimer: Pete is like 20 years older than me.
20 years older.
Yeah, my social security number's got 5 digits. Yeah.
But yeah. So back to the movie. The Following is released in 1998, written directed by Christopher Nolan, starring Jeremy Theobald, Alex Haw. Alex
Haha.
Alex and Lucy Haw? No, Alex Haw, Lucy Russell, and Christopher Nolan's uncle, John Nolan.
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny. Hey, do you guys know that John Nolan is a co-writer on some of Christopher Nolan's movies? Did you know that? Crazy.
Also known as Fredericks from Batman Begins and
everyone's
Dark
favorite
Knight.
Character from Batman Begins, Fredericks.
Yeah. He's the guy on the board of Wayne Enterprise, or yeah. So following a little synopsis. Following is the fragmented tale of an unemployed young writer who trails strangers through London, hoping that they will provide inspiration for his first novel. He gets more than he bargained for when one of his unwitting subjects leads him down a dark criminal path with gritty aesthetics and a made-on-the-fly vibe. Following is a mind-bending psychological journey that shows the remarkable beginnings of one of today's most acclaimed filmmakers. I don't know if mind-bending, it's kind of that's kind of strong.
That's a little stretch. It's a little bit of a stretch.
A little strong. I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, whoa!
My mind is bent.
But yeah, there's some twisty turns in there. But what I want to ask what you guys thought about it, because I know you guys hadn't seen it before.
Tyler, you can take the lead on this, Tyler. I think you probably have stronger feelings about it than I do. So,
The Following, or it's not. Well, I mean, what are you gonna call it? It's not called The Following. It's just called Following, which, I'm gonna call it The Following in some cases. Following was a really good movie in my opinion. I think Christopher Nolan's first theatrical release, it was an independent movie. It wasn't his first studio release, but it was his first independent release, which, man, that guy hit it out of the ballpark with that movie. It was really good. So this is one of the reasons why I really like this movie, is it touched on something that I am guilty of, being into, and that is rummaging through people's shit.
Really?
I don't like. I just like.
You go in people's medicine cabinets when you go over to their house?
No, I don't.
I'm not gonna say no.
Liar.
So
Liar.
No, it's not like that. I promise. It's more just like. So here's a good example. When I used to do house cleaning services for a ski resort, I would be cleaning people's houses, and these would be particularly wealthy people's houses. And I would just go through photo albums and stuff, like I wouldn't be like super invasive like this movie portrays these characters being, but I love reading about history of just random shit, like random family shit, like I just going through a photo album and be like, oh, I wonder how this family was feeling that day. Were they all fighting and they just smiled for this picture, sort of thing? So what the following does is, right in the beginning, this guy's like, I like following people because I like knowing what they're about, like what they're doing. He just likes doing it. It says that he's trying to get material for a novel because he's portrayed as a writer.
Doesn't really show him doing a whole lot of writing in the movie, though.
Yeah.
Tap.
But it taps into that, like, weird, pervasive nature of, like, wanting to know about people in not a harmful way. Like, it's not... Yeah. We're not talking about John Travolta and the Fanatic. But anyways, I really like this movie because I love Christopher Nolan's work. I think he is a great mediator between having original creativity and having a big budget behind him from a studio. And he really proved himself in following with his more of the direction style he was going with. Yeah. I would say the dialogue at times was very choppy at times. Right. The second act kind of had some sag to it with one of the female leads. But overall, though, I was very entertained. It was really engaging. I enjoyed this movie. What do you think, Peter? How did you think about Following?
Well, it was kind of hard to really kind of drill in on focusing on like the movie as itself, because all I kept thinking was, oh, this is Christopher Nolan. That scene's from Memento. Oh, this is a worse version of the bar scene from Inception. It was I could see like little shades of his future movies throughout the movie.
Very tropey. He's very tropey in his later movies that really come out in this movie.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It's probably not one that I'll revisit. I don't know. I think I was expecting a little bit more from it. It was a pretty simple story, enjoyable, good twist. I hate to say that, but as soon as someone says, "Oh, what'd you think about the twist?" It almost spoils it that there's a twist. Yeah. But you kind of see something coming. In my notes. Let's see, where's my notes for this here? I said. The smooth guy is wearing a suit and tie at the beginning, and the narrator's wearing a suit and tie later on. It's kind of got almost like the guy's obsessed with him. And I said the good-looking guy whose name is Cobb, right?
Yeah. Yeah, his name's Cobb.
Cobb, Leonardo DiCaprio's character's name from Inception.
Yep. Yeah.
And the whole time I was thinking.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I was saying 2 minutes in. Oh. Sorry, side note. I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but 2 minutes in, they said the name of the movie. Fantastic. Fantastic. But there was no fanfare. He says, I do a thing called shadowing, following,
Oh,
and then it just moves on, and you're like, oh, come on. I know he should have like looked at the camera and winked. I would have gone wild if he did that. It would have gained a full star.
I was gonna say, full disclosure, this movie is shot in black and white too, so I think that definitely adds to something to the overall movie.
for economic reasons though, because
Was it?
because Christopher Nolan funded the movie himself, and they didn't have the money for film lighting, so most of it's natural lighting. That's why there's a lot of windows nearby when there's scenes.
Oh.
And also, they shot it black and white, 16 millimeter black and white too, so that the color temperatures from the outside and inside lights wouldn't clash.
I didn't even notice that there were that many windows while you're watching it. Doesn't seem kind of weird. It almost just kind of seems like they're just I don't know, filming everything on a rooftop.
Yeah,
just because
like
they
the
don't
room?
have permits or something. Yeah, like the greatest scenes from The Room. But no, yeah, that makes sense. You could tell it was super low budget. It wasn't distractingly bad.
What do you guys think the budget for this movie was?
I was just gonna ask if you knew that, and I was gonna look it up.
Don't look it up.
So you already know.
I know it. I know what it is.
I don't know this, so I'm gonna guess
In pounds?
No, in U.S. dollars.
USD. All right.
In U.S. dollars. Oh man.
And think about the time it was made too.
Conversion rate 1998.
Quick, let me get my Texas Instrument calculator out.
Which queen was in office then? Oh, the same one for the last 70 years.
Who was the prime minister for that year?
Yeah, probably named Duncan or something British like that.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? What do you think?
I think it's. I'm gonna take a guess. $600,000.
Okay, Pete.
150,000.
Tyler, you were not close at all. You just added a little. You just added a little too many zeros. It was only $6,000.
6,000.
Wow.
It was one of the most least expensive movies ever made.
That just shows the talent. That just shows the talent of Christopher Nolan, because that was a solid movie, especially
That was
for
solid, yeah.
for
Yeah.
the
All right,
first.
it gained a star just now. For me.
Yeah,
It
for
was-
first theatrical release too. It
Wow. It grossed almost $50,000 in the U.S. Yeah, and
150,000 doubloons in merry old England.
yeah, and 30 Shreks.
Yeah, 30 Shreks. Tyler, I don't know if you know that, but Shrek's a unit of measurement.
Oh. One thing about following that I was really, which drew me in a lot, was the intro music that they used. It was really, it kind of portrayed the like loud sound I guess someone would feel if they were like in some existential crisis like this guy was feeling.
Yeah, the dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it was really like it got your heart beating and stuff, like as if you were following someone.
Oh, hey. The anxiety.
Raised pulse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't really remember the intro music. Was it actual music, or was it kind of like this?
it wasn't. I don't know what is
Little
music,
drony,
but it was definitely very drony. Really, just kind of in your ear. Rushing sound. That's Christopher Nolan's really great at that. He's really great at creating sound design that is really in your head, very cerebral kind of.
That's a pretty
sounds.
accurate description of Nolan's movies. Is pretty cerebral. There's usually some sort of sci-fi factor in them, like minus Memento and the Dark Knight trilogy, and
Dunkirk.
And Dunkirk. No, there's aliens in
the
Dunkirk.
Dark Knight trilogy's got a fair amount of sci-fi in it. I mean, what kind of piano can really open to a secret entrance just by playing 2 off-key notes? Unrealistic.
This would never happen.
This couldn't happen. Are you kidding me?
I think one of the earlier scenes. So this is kind of where it kind of confused me a little bit in the tone of the movie, was when he started describing like his rules for not being a creep. You know what I mean?
Even though he's clearly a creep.
Creep rules to
Actually,
live by.
And just for the record, he doesn't say creep. I think it's just he just says his rules not to.
His rules.
Yeah, but it's rules not to be a creep because following
Here's the
people,
first rule, and here's the first time I broke that rule.
Yeah,
Right after I made that rule.
and you know what's funny is out of all of those rules, not looking like a creep wasn't one of them, and he looks like a fucking creep, especially in that first scene.
Yeah, Cobb points it out.
He does point it out, which is great. He's like, just because you're a burglar doesn't mean you have to look like a fucking burglar.
Yeah, what did you guys think of Cobb?
Doucher.
Yeah.
Probably. That's my word that I described him with in my notes.
So this is the thing about 90s movies that always gets me is that there's a trope for a decade about the damaged artist, quiet introvert kind of guy who is actually more deep than you know, I mean, for me, like, I parody that kind of person because it's really just cringy. So this, obviously, Christopher Nolan, he's trying to have Cobb be that guy where he's like, oh, he's just misunderstood. He is a deep artist kind of guy. This is a poetic journey that he's going through burgling and going through women's underwear.
Yeah.
So that kind of trope, it seems very incelish to me.
Incelish.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, it works in the context of this movie. Like, I can definitely get out of my own bias and appreciate it for what it is. So,
Yeah.
Cobb, his dialogue was interesting. It was engaging, but sometimes it was just a little off. Like a little.
Did you believe anything he said though?
Well, at a certain point, he's like a fucking Charles Manson, He gets you all worked up and thinking like, oh yeah, this dude is like, he's preaching like a good thing, and then once you see the actions of Cobb later in the movie, you're kind of like, oh, I see, like. A lot of his things are manipulative.
Just bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very manipulative, and I think that's just because he's portrayed as this loner guy, so he's like believing his own bullshit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Cobb, he's he's a well-written character for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down early in the first time you see him and you get to hear him talk for about 3 minutes. He said, I don't believe anything this smooth guy says. Quote, I do it for the adrenaline. I don't believe that. He doesn't look like he does anything for adrenaline. He looks like a salesman. He looks like he's trying to sell him something, which you find out.
Oh, is that the
kind of he is
his partner?
Sell him a lifestyle.
Cobb, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's trying to sell him to do exactly what he wants him to do, And I kind of felt bad for what's the other character's name? The schmuck.
It says Bill in the movie.
That's what he.
That's the name he gives him.
Yeah,
Doyle.
but there is no he's just known as the young man on IMDb.
Well, I felt kind of bad for him because he wasn't the sharpest guy. When he gets kind of caught the first time following him, he's like, why are you following me? He goes, I wasn't following you. Actually, I just saw your badge. I thought you looked interesting. Actually, I just thought you were a guy I went to school with. I was going to ask you if you were that guy. So it's like you give 3 excuses back to back.
Yeah.
That's excuse making 101. You give one excuse and you stick to it.
Yeah, not a very creative writer.
No. He was not quick on his toes at all.
But it is like he hasn't really written anything. He's looking for inspiration.
What
for
a
his
writer!
First novel. Yeah.
Wow, he came up with that on the fly.
Yeah, there's those random scenes of him like typing something. Like after he gets beat up, he goes back to the apartment and he's like typing like one
Dear Diary.
Yeah, they never follow up on his writing, and that's actually one of the problems I had with the movie was this guy was trying to find material for his novel, quote unquote, but
there's no novel.
There's no novel, and the thing is like I could could be okay with him, like, just like abandoning the profession of writing to do burglary.
Yeah.
But they really gloss over that. It's a real generalization of a period of time this guy's gone through.
Yeah.
Which, if it wasn't anyone other than Christopher Nolan, I think it would have been pretty tacky. It would have been a very tacky thing, but he has a way with pacing that makes this very mediocre plot very interesting.
Yeah, you forgive the writing in it because it's executed really well, and I think that's really just a service. The fact that he's a writer and this is what he's doing, just to propel the story forward.
Yeah.
If he could have been anything, and he just all of a sudden thought, "Wow, this guy's interesting. I'll just follow him." He could have been a plumber and said, "My free time, I like to follow people." it could have been anything. It sounds a little creepier that way, but it's really just as creepy.
It's almost like the Stephen King criticism that people go and say, like, "Oh, he can make a lamp look creepy." Some people think like that's a bad thing, and I'm just like, he
Really?
can make a lamp look creepy. Like, do you not see the significance? So with Christopher Nolan, he definitely has a way of, his direction style is very catering towards the visual
Dialogue and the
appeal
visual.
Yeah. It's like, for example, the exchange between the Marilyn Monroe third audition character.
The dollar store Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, the third backup Marilyn Monroe impersonator. The dialogue between her and Bill was really like cringy, but the fact that it actually propelled the movie in a way was forgivable, because it was like, yeah, like it was really cringy dialogue at certain points for me.
I did like when he's trying to hit on her, and he's like, "Hi, my name's Daniel," and she's like, "So."
I did like that.
Great,
that was
great counter.
Yeah.
That, and then he goes, "Well, I'm a writer." And she's like, "Gosh." Oh man.
Gosh.
Yeah, well, a writer, huh?
Yeah, I think all writers need to have that kind of rejection at one point in their life.
Yeah, I'm a writer. No big deal. Come here
Okay,
often? Oh, by the way, I'm a writer.
What do you write? Sitcoms.
Sitcom.
Did you guys at all? Well, I know Tyler thought this at least a little bit, but the first time you saw this, Joe, did you think that he was like a Tyler Durden type character, Cobb?
Oh yeah.
He was almost giving him like hey, if we're just trying to disrupt things, man. Everyone's got this box, and we're gonna take the box and we're gonna show it out in the open. Everyone wants it to happen, but we're the ones doing it, and they'll never say it. Blah blah blah. And you're like, okay, I kind of get that a little bit.
Yeah.
Right when that happened, I wrote down British Tyler Durden, and I looked over at Tyler, and he was writing Tyler Durden on his notes. And then I thought to myself, all right, I know the twist. Here's what's happening. None of it's real. The guy's in a loony bin.
He's made an alternate personality of himself.
Cobb is fake, just like his children in Inception.
His children are dead. Yeah, I mean, they were made around the same time. Fight Club came out a year after.
Yep, they
This
came out
movie.
in 99.
But yeah, when I first saw it, I didn't really make the connection there, but I see what you mean. I definitely noticed that.
Yeah, at least for a little bit, and then it kind of settles into itself, and you're like, okay, I'm abandoning that prediction.
Which actually, that's what I really liked about this movie, is it showed a lot of restraint, because it showed a bunch of really extreme plot branches, I guess you could call them, like with Cobb being like Tyler Durden, with the girl looking like Marilyn Monroe. Like, there was a lot of opportunity for really like tangent kind of esque stuff that wouldn't pertain to the plot at hand.
Yeah.
But it was only like a passing scene. It would just be like, so like he's like teaching him how to be like a good burglar and stuff like that. Not mentioned in the movie ever again. And that is okay because it established his character enough to where it shows him why because there's a bunch of flash forwards and flashbacks in this movie, so you're gonna need that context.
Yeah. What'd you guys think about the editing of this movie?
I don't know if it was necessary to do the time warpy cut back and forth edits, but it gives you a little bit of suspense because you see him hanging outside of the bar or club or whatever he is with the black eye, and you're like, all right, something happened that I'm getting ready to see. How you got the shit kicked out of him at some point, and then something else, the climax supposedly is going to happen once we get to this point, once our two timelines catch up with each other. So it's a little suspenseful. It's a good cheap way to get suspense in it.
Yeah, I definitely think it helped the story be a little bit more interesting and kept you engaged.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was just like, I don't think this movie would work without good context of the flash forwards and flashbacks, because if you're gonna have a movie, and there's a bunch of movies that try to do the flash forward flashbacks thing, and it doesn't always land like how the director would want. But Christopher Nolan's Following, that was a really good example of providing good context for the flash forwards flashbacks, although I would say it was a little excessive, especially in the beginning, because the beginning it didn't really need, I didn't feel it was necessary to have so many flash forwards in the beginning, but I appreciate Christopher Nolan giving context to those flash forwards. Although there was a lot, he definitely was, very consistent with it.
You know what movie tried to do that and failed? Pulp Fiction. 20 years later, no one's talking about that movie. Hack.
I
was going to say Battlefield Earth.
I definitely think that this movie sets the pace for Nolan's career in storytelling, because his following movie, Memento,
nice,
is hey. All right, podcast is over.
All right, that's it. Jordan's out.
Because Memento is like obviously the more comparatively notable movies.
You can't not watch this and think, or you can't watch this and not think about Memento the whole time.
Oh yeah.
You can watch this and be like, I feel like I would rather be watching Memento.
I know. Where's Guy Pearce?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, after pretty much in the middle of the second act, I was just like, dude, I'm juiced for Memento right now.
I can't wait for Following 2, Memento.
That was only 2 years later, actually.
Yeah, 2001, I think. 2000.
Well, he made Insomnia. He made Insomnia after Following. Actually, he made Insomnia. Well, I think he made Insomnia after Following, and then he released Memento. I don't know if he was working on Memento first, but
they had to have been working concurrently, because Following is 1998, and then Insomnia. I'm not looking that up, but Memento was released in September 2000 at the Venice International
Insomnia
Film Festival.
2002.
Oh, Insomnia's afterwards then.
Oh, okay.
Insomnia, not a Christopher Nolan original, other than the Batmans. Insomnia is a remake of a Swedish movie.
Yeah.
Starring Stellan Skarsgård.
And Warner Brothers was really leery about them letting him direct that movie too. They wanted to have a seasoned director take on such a project.
So the opening shot of Following is very similar to the opening shot of Insomnia with the gloves. I actually really enjoy Insomnia. It doesn't get the credit it deserves.
I don't think so either. It's a weird Al Pacino film that you wouldn't really think that he
Al
would
Pacino's in that?
Yeah,
he's the main character.
Yeah, he's in it.
And Robin Williams.
Insomnia?
Mm-hmm.
Al Pacino and Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've completely missed this. I mean, I've heard the name before. I couldn't tell you anything about it or who's in it. So this is all
it's good.
shock.
I like it a lot.
What's it about?
Stuff.
Al Pacino
Okay.
is a cop, an old cop, too old for this shit. Is a murders in Alaska that he gets hired to investigate, and Robin Williams is the suspect.
Huh. Interesting.
It's a good Robin Williams role, honestly.
Yeah, very
Serious role
underrated.
for Robin Williams. That's interesting.
Yeah, along with 1 Hour
Yeah.
Photo.
I was gonna say 1 Hour Photo is the first time I saw him as a creep.
Yeah. Anyways, back to Following. Yeah, I definitely think this movie set the pace for Nolan's storytelling abilities. I think that the style of editing in this movie is very similar to the style of editing in Dunkirk.
Really?
Yes, it's a lot of back and forth. People think, I mean, this one in Following, it is kind of jarring when it first happens. It's like, wait a minute, where are we right now? In Dunkirk is similar, but it works really well.
Yeah, especially because it's a World War II movie, so you can. I think people have been like conditioned to like view war movies in like memory successions. At least for me, like I grew up on Band of Brothers, which is very similar in that style of just like being very in the moment. And with Following, I like the jarring of it in the beginning because it's a very risky thing to do, and it pays off in the end. I don't know. Do you guys want to get into spoilers right now?
It came out 21 years ago.
Okay,
think
if you
it's-
guys haven't seen, it's 21 years old. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Figure it
I'll
out.
say this: if you're a Christopher Nolan fan and you haven't seen Following, you should watch it definitely, because it sets like all the classic tropes of everything we love about Nolan.
Oh yeah.
That was probably my favorite part about watching this, and I'm glad that you put it on the wheel and it landed on that because I like Nolan's stuff. I've always respected him quite a bit. I haven't really seen any of his movies that just were stinkers. It's been just quality. I know he's kind of an eccentric dude, and some people kind of give him shit for being a little pretentious or whatever, but fuck them.
Yeah,
But you think about it though, it's like who else has a budget, like a major Hollywood studio budget with an art house film mind?
it's his movies are pretty much like if an art school student had a budget.
a trust fund.
It's like a Tom Ford movie, but better. Actually good. But I mean, you watch Interstellar and people are like, I don't know, it was a little trippy for me. And I'm like, that's fantastic. I mean, just in scope of the score alone, it's impressive.
Definitely.
The ambition behind the type of storytelling that he's doing, time warping, not in the type of editing, but in the people being on other planets and shit. It's like it's really, really aggressive filmmaking done really well. So watching this, and this is like the origin story of all that. It's kind of inspiring because you're like, you have friends and people that you know, like Nathan's down in LA doing his thing, getting in the movie business and all that stuff. And, I know it would be great to make a movie with friends one day, but it's like, everybody's like, oh no, how can you do it? How can you break into it? You got $6,000, you shoot this, very good movie, get your name out there. And then somebody gives you a budget to make whatever the next thing is, and the next thing, and you build and build and build, and then next thing you know, you're Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
It's the American dream. It's kind of impressive. So that was probably my favorite part about this, was just seeing little peeks into where his mind was back then versus what he was able to do once he got a budget and some recognition. Yeah, it was impressive. You're dead on. If you like Nolan, watch this movie, and I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah.
Well, I really want to get into spoilers, so
if you don't want to hear spoilers, then I don't know, skip a little bit.
Yeah, fast forward about 5 minutes.
Fast forward to the wheel. So here's
the twist.
Here's the twist. This is a movie made in the UK.
It's a setup. See,
it's a movie made in the UK. They're not drinking tea. tea. They're drinking coffee. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry, I had to say it, but they're drinking coffee instead of tea, which I thought was the craziest thing ever because that is so
I didn't
unlike
see one
it.
British breakfast either.
No.
I didn't see beans on toast.
I didn't see no
I
bangers
see
and
sausage. No bangers and mash. I didn't see one chimney sweep.
And
Not one person called someone governor.
What was the Fiddler on the Roof?
I think that's one of
Are you
the...
taking a piss? I haven't heard that. I didn't hear that one time.
One of the...
He did say, you are joking. And I was like, can he not say taking the piss? Please, for us?
Yeah.
It was the most European movie ever, and I loved that. I love that
Yeah.
because it's such a thorn in the side of normal culture over there, and that's one of the things that I really loved about this movie. It's not afraid to be what it's presenting. It shows restraint in the right places, and with the twist, even like it, you can predict it, but the payoff is still satisfying watching it, even though you can be like, oh yeah, obviously Cobb is setting this dude up, but it's still played off really well.
Yeah, even if you think something's coming, you don't know exactly what's coming. I thought it was executed really well. It was subtle enough. There was really no illusion to it. And then the second you have the payoff, you're like, oh, they know each other. Oh, he's in the guy's house. Oh, that was his house the whole time.
Oh my
And you're
god.
like, oh, cool. Yeah, it's one after another. It's like boom, boom, boom.
But
There's
then,
a twist.
then there's a little, like another tiny little half twist with the girl with the blonde and Cobb.
The skafoots.
Yeah. That was a very satisfying twist too. Because
Yeah, she was annoying. She got what she wanted, but she had it coming. You're annoying, you die.
Hammer to the head.
Yeah.
So it was Cobb who was really the one who has this psychological, I don't know, desire to
yeah,
ruin people's lives.
Oh yeah, he's a for sure like a sociopath.
Not
psychopath,
yeah,
whatever you wanna call
not
it.
only just by upturning someone's apartment, upturning someone's life by sending them to prison. Yeah.
To what end? I did ask that in my notes. Let's see, where's it here? Britain is a very silly place. Con says you can't get a box of latex gloves anywhere but at the hospital for some reason.
I gotta steal these from the hospital.
Yeah, 40 minutes into the movie, there's not a whole lot of following. It should be called burglary. Let's see.
Burgling.
And then I asked the question, what is she getting out of this whole double play? I think she wants something out of the safe, but it's not the photos like you're led to believe.
Yeah.
So I don't know what her whole agenda was in this.
She was just like, thought maybe she was gonna be with Cobb and to get money from his burgling. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't really know.
I took it way superficially though. Like I really did think it was just the photos. Like I think that the mob boss or the club owner or whoever the fuck that guy was, who
The
had
bald
same-
guy.
Dollar General Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
Old guy.
I think he was just an asshole manipulator who was like, "Oh, I'll release these dirty photos of you, and your career will be ruined." And like,
What career? What did she do?
exactly, I think it was just a manipulation tactic, and I think she was just manipulated into thinking that these photos were damaging to her when in reality they weren't, and she was just being played by an asshole. So
was she talking about the photos to Cobb, or was she talking about the photos to the other guy?
the other guy, right?
It was to
I thought so. I thought it was to the other guy.
Yeah, to
She didn't say one word of truth to them. I don't think the photos even exist.
Well, yeah, because the folder opens and there was no photos in there, right?
Yeah, because
That's why he slaps her. He's like, "Told you not to look in the envelope."
yeah,
When he comes back to her
who
place.
knows what that was in that
Kuntazi.
envelope.
yeah. I don't know. It was like the suitcase in Pulp Fiction. It's just a glowing
Yeah.
light. I don't know. I think
Very
I think
valuable light bulb.
Yeah, it was a CFL before they were introduced to the world. Cobb was just a hitman. I don't know what her motives were, but she got her comeuppance. She got murdered in her own apartment on the rug.
So some
Spoiler alert.
some some tiny little trivia here. So when he's given the alias D. Lloyd, Daniel Lloyd.
Yeah. The credit card fraud.
It's I guess Nolan is a huge Kubrick fan, and Danny Lloyd is the kid from The Shining.
Oh yeah, that is right. That is. Yeah.
And there's a poster of The Shining in his room.
I did see that one. Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah, and then there's also the Batman poster
on the door.
In the door, and also the alphabet in case he forgot.
I did write that down. You know what? I typed down some notes as well, and I did write.
Professional writer.
I put alphabet on the wall, and I'm having a hard time recalling why I put that on there, but I'm glad that you mentioned that because
they show it a number of times. Maybe it just shows the guy's a simpleton.
Yeah.
He goes, wow, what kind of... He's filing something. He's alphabetically. He's like, is T before or after S? I always forget. Oh, there's my wall reference guide.
I got to learn to read before I can write.
I had an alphabet on my wall for a long time, but it was to learn the police call letters. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt silly just having that up there. I can imagine what of a fool that guy must have felt.
A writer
having
of
that
all
woman
people.
over to his house.
And the font of the alphabet, it looks like a font that Christopher Nolan would use in one of his movies. Like, I feel like he used it for like Dunkirk or Inception, the typeface.
Inception for sure. I can see that, and I love Christopher Nolan for his tropes because they're his tropes. Like, it's not like people are like copying him or anything unless you're making a movie like Epic Movie or something like that.
A parody.
Yeah, it's Christopher Nolan's own style, and he makes it work. Like, he makes the movies entertaining. So I really like The Following because it's like all of his tropes concentrated into one movie that works. But I have to agree with Peter, though, is that I don't know if I could revisit this movie just like on my own, though, because it's just kind of like,
It's not something, a movie that I would watch by myself again, anyway. Like, I know the first time I watched it by myself. But that's because I hadn't seen it before, and I'm a huge Nolan fan.
All right, Joseph, on the last episode when we picked this one, you said this was one of your favorite Nolan movies. Rank your Nolan movies.
Oh, shit. Okay. Let me...
In reverse order. Best first.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Let me go to his filmography for a second.
Equilibrium.
Oh, shit.
That's not even one of his movies at all.
Have you ever even seen a Christopher Nolan movie, dude?
Yeah, come on, dude.
I will say...
I can name 15 off the top of my head.
This is all getting edited out in post.
Yeah.
Keep that in.
Do you actually want me to give you a list?
Yeah, I want to know what's your like your top tier. I know you're a big Nolan fan, so.
So let's do let's nix the Dark Knight trilogy. Let's take that out of the equation. No, I'm taking it out.
What? That's like his third of his movies.
I'm taking it out though.
Okay.
I will say
I don't agree with this list. Unauthorized list so far.
You want me to do all of them or just like top 3?
No, whatever.
Okay, I'll do top 3.
Top 3.
That's less pressure for me.
Okay.
In no particular order.
Man of Steel.
Okay.
He didn't write that.
He written by.
I will say Interstellar, The Prestige. Prestige. I don't know why I always forget about The Prestige, but The Prestige is so good.
It is so good.
Yeah, it is. It's great. David Bowie as Tesla, and Andy Serkis as his Igor is it's so good.
His little minion.
Yeah. And so what I say, Interstellar, The Prestige.
Interstellar is The Prestige.
And then Dunkirk.
Wow.
Interstellar, Prestige, Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm glad the Prestige is in there. I don't think that gets enough love.
No, it really doesn't. And I think it just came out at an unfortunate time, like
It came out in between his Batman movies.
Well, that and also
The Illusionist.
it was also The Illusionist with Edward Norton came out at the same time.
Oh,
which is one of those weird parody movies that comes out, like Volcano and Dante's Peak came out at the same time. Burt Wonderstone and Now You See Me.
Oh yeah. Pacific Rim and Atlantic Rim.
Atlantic Rim, yeah.
I was going to say Pacific Rim and Cloud Atlas.
I don't know if those movies are the same.
kind of different ballparks there. Cloud Atlas, though, simultaneously either the best movie ever or the worst movie ever made. I can't tell.
What do you say, Tyler?
Cloud Atlas, it's an experience.
Okay.
It's more of a concept than a movie.
All right. So, what are your guys's on a scale of 1 to 10? What do you give this? What do you give this movie? What do you give Following?
Solid 7.
Will you recommend it? You recommend it?
I would recommend it only if you are a Christopher Nolan fan specifically. Like, as like someone, if you're just someone who likes movies, I don't know. Like, it might be a stretch to.
You might like it.
You might like it, but if you're
a fan of Paul Blart Mall Cop, maybe pass on this one.
Yeah, unironically, Paul Blart fan. I don't know. You might not like it, but if you're, I would say even if you're into Fight Club, like you might like this movie. You could appreciate it at least. So, if you're into Christopher Nolan movies, specifically Inception, I would give this movie, or I would say specifically Memento, if we're gonna be completely honest. I would recommend this movie. It's a entertaining movie. I was not... the second act sagged a little, but it was overall a solid movie. And I would recommend it. And I would also, if anyone knows anyone that has a hat from the set of Following...
a hat?
Yeah, like a production hat, a studio hat, a promotional hat.
Oh.
I don't know if they made those. If someone knows someone.
I have one from the 2013 to 2015 TV drama The Following with Kevin Bacon. But
that
I don't know if this will work.
That's sick. But yeah, I would recommend this movie for sure.
7 out of 10 for me too. I'd recommend it to my mom and my movie friends, but not to my coworkers.
Okay.
Perfect description.
Wait, you want to give Jorge the hey man, you want to check this movie out? You'll really like it, I think.
Hey George, what do you think? What do you think about Memento? Huh? you should give Following. You like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? It's not as exciting as that.
Can you imagine if Guy Ritchie directed this movie? Oi, you following me?
Hey, you fucking follow me. Yeah. Beware of any man that keeps more than 10 pigs. No, I like it. Good. Thanks for the recommendation. I'm glad I watched it.
I'm glad you guys.
I don't regret it.
Oh, that's good.
It's a ringing endorsement.
I'll take that. You want to move on to the wheel? I guess.
Yeah. I got the wheel set up here. So let me pull it out here.
Oh yeah, what are you gonna pick for your replacement for Following, Joseph?
Yeah.
So let me go through what we got on the wheel so far, and you guys can have your opportunities to change them or not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Tyler, you have 2 gems. Texas Chainsaw Massacre and George of the Jungle with Brendan Fraser.
You sure you don't want to change that one?
Oh no, I'm waiting patiently.
I see our future and it's bleak. Also, our wild card was a Tyler pick. Also, one of ours. It's Escape from New York. Snake Plissken. Joseph has. I'll do my picks. I have 3:10 to Yuma, with Christian Bale and Russell Crowe, and Stoker with Mia Wasikowska.
Stoker.
I really hope we land on 310 at one point. That movie is a classic.
It's great. It's the one of the, in my opinion, the best modern Western movie made in like the last, let's say, 15 years or so. And then Joseph's picks right now are Following, which will be replaced right now, The Machinist, which I was kind of thinking this had a little bit of ring of The Machinist in there, a few scenes.
Oh yeah.
The plot twist for sure definitely had the same.
There's a
mood.
twist. Oh my god! Don't tell me.
And Double Down by Neil Breen.
Double Down. I would like to add
what's your
Double Dare, the Nickelodeon show.
That's his pick is the first season of Double Dare.
Season 1 in completion.
Yeah. Oh shit! I gotta think about this. I don't want to. I was thinking about Dunkirk, but I don't want to do another Nolan one. I don't want to have a thing about me. You know.
Well, so far, all we talk about on this podcast have been horror movies, except for this one. So.
Yeah. Should I?
Dunkirk would be a welcome change of pace.
I will do Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius.
Whoa. That's a wild card.
Do I have to see the Jimmy Neutron series beforehand? Because spoiler
the
alert,
series,
that was before my time.
The series came out after the movie, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
What?
Yeah, Jimmy Neutron is what started this.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Well, it's the
like
kind
a movie
of
and make a TV show about it. What is this?
bullshit.
The Emperor's New Groove?
I don't know.
It's the kind of bullshit that had a lot of box office sales. Hey, I actually I want to change one of my movies. I want to change out Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm putting in my card. I'm changing it out.
Okay. All right, that's fine. You can do it anytime you want.
Yeah, I'm changing it out to Mad Max Fury Road because I just saw it. I'm really juiced about it, and if we land on it, I am ready to blabber about my true love for Charlize Theron.
You know what that pick was? Not mediocre.
Haha.
It was
Ha ha ha! Good one, guys. They can't all be home runs. Sometimes you ground out to short stuff.
I'm gonna do From Beyond.
From Beyond. Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen that.
I have the movie. I just have never seen it.
Yeah, I am 100% behind that because
What's it about?
Well, let me tell you once I look up this.
I know we talked about it earlier, but
The synopsis.
I was filling up my glass of wine.
A group of scientists have developed the Resonator, a machine which allows whoever is within range to see beyond normal, perceptible reality. But when the experiment succeeds, they are immediately attacked by terrible life forms. Kind of a vague.
It's kind of like They Live. You
Um.
see things that other people can't, and then you're under attack.
Actually, you know what?
Does this one also star Roddy Piper or Hulk Hogan or
No.
Macho Man Randy Savage?
This stars Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton, Ted Sorrell, Ken
Dreamboat.
Forey, Carolyn Purdy Gordon, Bunny Summers.
Bunny Summers.
I want to see a movie starring Tom Skerritt. That guy needs to make a comeback.
Yeah, From Beyond. From Beyond is my.
From Beyond.
All right.
All right, we're set. You guys ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Spin the Wheel of Destiny.
And
Oh shit.
oh, 310 to you.
Oh yeah.
Tyler
Cole.
Let me hear your yee. That's the first line you hear Russell Crowe say.
Let me hear your yeet or yeehaw.
Let me hear your yee. That's what he says. Yeah. So all right, cool. So let me see if this is streaming anywhere. 310 to Yuma. Showtime. Fubo. What the hell is Fubo?
I have a Roku. I have a Roku. Can I watch this on my Roku?
No, you don't have a Fubo. Whatever it's called.
You have to have a Fubo. You have to have
Not
you have
a
to have
Roku.
Spiegel.
All right, so we landed on 310 to Yuma.
For everybody out there listening, if you want to watch along, $2 on PlayStation or Redbox, and you can be privy to all the insider gossip that we're going to be watching for a movie that came out 12 years ago.
Exclusively on Fuba.
If you're looking for new opinions on a movie that came out in 2007, this is the show for you.
Oh yeah, by the way, too, before you close out, Joseph, follow us on Facebook. It's MCFC Podcast on Facebook. If you want to email us, if you have any suggestions or ideas for the movie or fan art, listener art, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com is our email address. So send us something and we'll post it to our site. Post a link to it in the show notes or talk about it on air.
All right, and we'd like to thank our sponsors. Hopefully in the future, MeUndies, ZipRecruiter,
MeUndies, Stamps.com, Cherries Berries, all the
Fuba.
Fubo, yeah.
All right, I know I'm gonna do some producing between this episode and next one. I'm gonna be contacting Fubo's people.
We love 310 to Yuma.
All right, so thanks you guys for watching. Make sure you tune in next week for when we watch 310 to Yuma. All right, see you guys later.
Adios.
See